Hello, Seattle.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, world.
Hello, Cleveland! Hello, Cleveland!
Well, hello.
Wholly independent and completely untethered since 2009, this is the Marty Reamer Show podcast.
Reamer.
From the epicenter, Seattle, USA.
West Side.
From their west side basement, lodged between the mold and the bad memories.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Here are your hosts, Marty Reamer and somebody else.
Yes, and truth in advertising. There is somebody else today. Today, my special guest co-host from the Experience Music Project. That's a heady title because it sounds like you're running the operation there. You're booking out all the rooms for weddings, bar mitzvahs, and things like that.
Sure. Let's just sum it up that way. Yeah. You're right. We absolutely do all the private events as well as produce all the programming for community institutions.
Oh, well then, there's a lot more going on.
That's what I'm saying.
The lovely Kate Nedved. Let's get some loveliness on it. Oh, look at her there if she isn't gorgeous. Yeah.
Aww.
Kate Nedved. Welcome to Monday, the start of a brilliant week here on the podcast. One of the most talented singer-songwriters that we've ever had on the show, and we've had her on a couple times. Camille Bloom will be here tomorrow. Mountain climbing legend Ed Viester's on Wednesday. He hasn't confirmed yet, but we're just promoting it, so he's guilted into actually showing up. Thursday, comedian Kyle Cease. And Friday, the guy opening the first distillery since Prohibition in the city of Seattle. Some guy named Stephen Stone.
We love Stephen.
He's distilling vodka. Is that what it is? Vodka. A vodka distillery will be here on the show. But nothing, I tell you, nothing will eclipse today's show because three of the brightest stars in comedy, three people that I'm going to make them feel uncomfortable here. Three of my comedic heroes are here on the show today, namely the lovely, the ever so quirky, yes, get out of the chat room and get ready to switch over to her camera.
I'm waiting for your proper introduction.
My long-winded introduction to come to an end. The lovely Maria Bamford is here. Also joining her in that same camera shot, because we don't have enough cameras for each of our guests, a very funny comedian from Portland who I'm meeting for the first time, and I can't believe it because I play his stuff all the time on the 20 Funnies, a former radio talk show host himself. And God damn it, you look young. What is your deal?
I am young.
You are you young? Yes, I am. Okay, that shouldn't be. You look like you're 22.
Good. That's right on.
Is that what you're going for? Dwight Slade is here. Dwight Slade, yay. And the man who brought them all here, who's every year on Valentine's Day is producing a show called The Laugh Lovers Ball. This year, no exception. Tonight at the Moore Theater in Seattle, 2 shows. And let me tell you, you know what I like about your Laugh Lovers Ball?
What do you like about my Laugh Lovers Ball, Marty?
Is that there's an early show at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
That is the way you do an early show.
It
Some
comes
people
with
go to
shrimp.
bed at 7:30.
Yeah.
Average age at 6 o'clock show, 90.
All right.
They have valet for people with walkers. That's how early it is.
Marty, that's going to
It's free
skew
to get in,
awesome
but they have
for
to
you.
pay for the buffet.
My God.
These tags.
I thought it was early so people can get back to their caves for the sexing.
Yeah.
11.
That's on the ticket, actually.
Yeah.
To finish his introduction, the man behind the Laugh Lovers Ball, David Crow, is here as well. David Crow. 2 of the 3 comedians have played past Marty Reamer Funny Festivals. David was he opened the very first one, which it's hard to eclipse that show. That was amazing. And then Maria played the second one, our second year. So
Great. With Tom Papa.
with Tom Papa and Jake Johansson.
Yeah. It was fun.
You remember that one?
Yeah. Oh, totally. I do.
All right. First off, guys, thank you all very much, Kate and comedians, for being here today.
Thank you, Marty.
Thanks, Marty.
Happy Valentine's Day, Marty.
And to you guys, nice to be here with you on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
This is exactly, I think, what Hallmark had in mind.
Yeah. It's true. When I slammed the door, was that asbestos coming down from the top of the basement ceiling?
No, just mold.
Yeah, there's a heaping helping of mold. Maria, when I first met you at that Marty Reamer Funny Festival, the first thing I wanted to know was, what you were really like.
Oh, yes.
Because you play a very interesting character on stage. And how far does that deviate from how you are when you're just hanging out?
I have the same voice, I think, all the time. My sister has this voice. And so it's not a choice. It's something I was born with. It was it's genetic. And so I think I'm just the same person.
You are?
Do I seem do I seem weird right now?
No. But I haven't finished my coffee. So.
Just your stage act is a toned down version of you.
Yeah. So, do some characters and stuff.
Yeah,
like that,
and the voices you do are spectacular. When you bust out the voices, especially of your girlfriends, your more middle of the road, mainstream girlfriends.
Like a regular lady who's having a lady life.
That's right. Dwight Slade, I mentioned this right before we signed on, that what I know of you, and I don't know if this is true, you were a talk show radio host in Portland.
Yes.
Very successful.
Yeah, except for what I think is coming here.
And then you decided to breach the subject of animal love. Is that what ended up happening? Is that what finally?
Well, I did talk radio in Portland. And,
what was the station?
KXL AM radio.
Okay, and what was a typical Dwight Slade show like?
It was talk radio. It was 100% talk radio that was supposed to be local. Whatever the water cooler news of the day was,
right?
That was supposed to talk about with a comedic bent, but it was in the year 2000, which I don't know if you recall, had a rather contentious election. And being a moderate to left-leaning person, it got rather contentious. And by the end of December, the powers that be had thought, well, we have to end this immediately. And so
some of the shows on that station were like,
the conservative talk radio was making a lot more money than a moderate funny show.
Yeah.
And so one day I was looking in the news for something to talk about, and there was a story of a man who was on trial in Boston, AP News story about a man who claimed during the trial he was married to his dog.
Okay.
And I said to the producer, I'd like to talk to this guy. And lo and behold, got him on the air. We cleared it through the producer. Everyone said, yeah, go ahead and talk to him on the air. And of course, the question comes up, what'd you guys do in your honeymoon? And
it's Valentine's Day, so this is very thematic today.
It got very graphic, but the phones lit up, and
that's all you hope for in radio.
That was my job. And my boss didn't think of it that way. He said that didn't fit the format of news talk. I countered with a guy's dorking his pooch. That's news, and I want to talk about it. To which he replied, fired. And that ended my talk radio career.
Are you sad about that? Or were you having a good time?
I miss it sometimes, but other times, when 9/11 hit, I'm like, I'm glad I'm not in the radio. I don't want to be a guy who uses the chicken come home to roost attitude and get people coming at me with clubs. So
it is funny with as crazy as radio gets, where they decide to draw the line. I don't know the particular bit you did with the guy that was married to his dog.
Well, it wasn't even a bit. It was just the question, how does this all happen? And who instigates what? Is there music? Do
you know when the dog is interested?
Right. You know.
Was it a male dog or a female dog?
See, exactly.
Those are our questions.
Exactly.
We are turning down a road we cannot go past.
See, exactly.
But there's a book about the love of a man for his dog, My Dog Tulip. It's been made into an animated feature, and it's this English guy who fell in love with his dog, and he talks about.
Really?
Yeah. And it's sort of like this charming. It's like a Penguin Classics book too. Like British. It's from 1930-something, but so it's happening out there.
Your Honor, I'd like to introduce my attorney, Maria Bamford. She has some evidence in this wrongful decision.
Let me bust out one of my Penguin Classics, and you'll see it here. And David Crow, what year is this for you in the Laugh Lovers Ball?
17.
Is it really 17?
Wow.
Yeah.
No, is that right? 17 years?
17 years.
I'll be damned.
Well, it started small. Come on. It was Sunday night at Giggles when it started.
Is that what it was? First year?
Yeah.
Who played the first year?
I don't know, like me and Dwayne Goad and Joe Vespaziani, just some local
Oh my God,
cops.
you were really
and it wasn't,
dredging.
Yeah.
I kid.
So, but the big breakout was 1998 when I decided to rent a theater and try to make it a bigger event. Because, I'm a club comic, so I'm always playing clubs. And I thought, I want one show in Seattle where I get to do a theater. And but it needed to be more than just me. And I had to get a radio sponsorship. I had to get a charity involved. And, well, there was always a charity involved. And then Valentine's Day that year was on a Monday. So that was the real, see if this is going to work.
That's
and we
a good
ended up
test.
selling out the theater. It was at the Bagley Rights, a little smaller. But, so from then on, but large credit to you. Without the 520 Funny and your promos for this thing, I don't think it'd be around. It'd be around, but I'd be $2 million in debt.
I think the thing is that you pick great comics. I mean, sometimes when you're put,
Well, I didn't know I picked comics who did bestiality material on the radio.
Yeah, I know. That does make us all uncomfortable. We did not know that about Dwight. Although I did. I actually always said it was
10 years. Let it go, someone. Please.
Well, the goal was always to not hire somebody that was already famous, because then you have to pay them $100 million just to get on an airplane for you. So I thought, I want to pick my favorite comedians who maybe people aren't that familiar with and just put them all together in one big show. And every year, it doesn't matter who's on the bill, people will go, that's always a great show. And it's worked out.
That's funny. That's the exact same
and then
philosophy.
most of the people who have been on the show have gone on to be much more successful than me. So I feel like I'm a little bit of a...
that used to be the case, but now look at you with your credits.
That's
and
true.
The Showtime.
I was just being smug.
The Showtime special. What is going on? What are you guys each up to? Maria, I mean, I know this is part of your routine. When are you going to be on TV? I don't really care if you're going to be on TV, but are you quite are you cruising along?
Everything's. I'm just coasting, just sitting in a gravy boat filled with gravy, and,
Waiting for the giblet derailment.
And we're back.
Well, I'm just touring a lot, and I made a pilot for the internet, so that sounds good.
A pilot for the internet?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Does that even sound like that even exists yet? It's a cellusode for older cell phones. It's a episode that you'd watch without cell phones that don't have screens. Anyways, sorry to explain. No, I'm just touring and doing show business. I think I'll be on the Tonight Show sometime soon, which I'm sure. I used to know the difference between right and wrong, you guys, but I used to be like you. But then the man told me.
Well, you know what's funny about Maria, I think, to interject, is Maria has a special kind of fan. I mean, it's normal. It's normal to have somebody loves comedy, right? And then they like, I like Mike Birbiglia. I like Mike Birbiglia. I like Dwight Slade. I like Patton Oswalt. They have a list of people.
Right.
Maria's fans, in my experience, are like, they love Maria, and no one else is funny. No one else does comedy. It's over. She's the only one.
Really? Are they obsessive or
militant? A little militant?
militant?
Angry.
Well,
That's the way I hear it.
maybe it's they get focused. A lot of them are manic depressive, probably. So
No, why do you think doing the Tonight Show would be? You seem to think of it as like a sellout.
Well, because I know that Conan O'Brien was a nice guy, and I felt bad. Yeah, I don't know.
But you do his show as well, or is there?
Sure.
Do you get blacklisted for one if you do the other now?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I feel bad about everything now.
Well,
I feel guilty.
I suppose you're. I can see that because the Tonight Show. With Len, I want to say Leno's people, but
You're just
they haven't been the stalwart supporter of the stand-up that you would hope the Tonight Show would be, if I can say it.
Well, it was more so at one point, back in the Carson days.
I think so. I think so. I think once
for Carson for sure.
Once they did a test group and found that a lot of people turned the comic off at 11:20 or 10 or whatever. They immediately, Leno's people went, we get rid of all of comedy.
Yeah.
Not thinking, well, maybe it's because of the quality of the comic or
the fact that they're putting them on at 5 minutes before the end of the show when they were switching it off anyhow, or maybe that man on the street stuff is really where it's all at.
Sure, or headlines. Who can get enough of that?
Yeah. So who is the biggest supporter of comedy on television now? I mean, Conan does very little of it himself.
Yeah, I don't know if I can't really think of one person that's sort of like, if you do, I don't know if it exists anymore, the one show you do where you're the breakout success anymore. I mean, I suppose if you ever wound up on The Daily Show or Bill Maher's show, that would make a big difference in how you were perceived. But what
was the first late night show you did, Maria?
I did the Tonight Show.
Tonight Show.
It was like 12 years ago. It was a long time ago.
With Leno.
With Leno, yeah.
And it had a different kind of sheen to it.
It's like I thought it was kind of, because I was working at NBC at the time, so I was a secretary upstairs, and and then
You're making this up.
No, and I was temping, and I did the Tonight Show, and then I went back to work the same day, and and the guy who's also a stand-up, the guy who's the weather guy, Fritz Coleman, he came by my desk and was like, you're just on the Tonight Show. Anyways, he was very nice about it, and because it doesn't pay that much, and it doesn't. It's not life changing as I think it used to be. I guess at one point.
Yeah.
From what I've read.
Yeah.
Well, it's true. You hear about all these comedians talking about the day I got on the Tonight Show. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
nice set. Could you make some copies for me?
Yeah.
How did you get the slot then?
Oh, just auditioning. Same thing where you showcase and stuff in LA,
okay.
and I think and I think they liked it. I don't know how I got on. Is what I'm trying to say. I don't know.
And you guys, late night appearances or?
Or we got to.
Why do you have to bring up that uncomfortable subject?
Actually, my Tonight Show story is this. I did a comedy competition and got a tape from it and just blindly sent it into the Tonight Show, in crayon on the address. Tonight Show, comedian person. And
or
from
Santa.
David.
Right.
Whoever gets it first.
I'm going to be a star, Seattle, Washington.
I didn't know any better, and I sent it in, and 2 days later, the phone rang. Hello, David. This is Jimmy Brogan, booker of The Tonight Show. Really loved your tape.
Wow.
We would love to have you on the show. What? But we need you to come down and do a set just so Jay can see you live. And I was so nervous, just telling him, okay.
Yeah.
So I went down to L.A. and did a set for Jay, and then
for Jay, what does that mean?
Well, you're at a comedy club, and he's
You're
in the
nude.
green
He is
room.
actually
You're
in
nude.
the audience.
He's nude.
He's
Yeah.
in.
I get it.
Jeez.
You start talking about your dogs.
Yeah.
So then they sort of put me on the schedule, and a couple weeks later, Jimmy Brogan, the booker of the comic talent, was fired from that position, and the new guy came in and said, "I'm reinventing comedy on the Tonight Show," and wiped the slate clean.
Made Jay the only comedian.
So,
Oh my God! They did the focus
but
group.
I felt better. Actually, this is really how my career should go. I feel better about this.
Yeah,
I'll
I know.
go to Idaho.
I have not sold out. Wow. Like what kind of a? Yeah, it shouldn't take that kind of a twist and turn. But how many stories like that exist down in L.A.? I mean, it seems not just with comedians, but with everyone. Like, I got the deal. Like, it's going to happen, and then someone gets fired, or someone loses a script, or whatever crazy deal happens. Dwight, you were. Again, something I've heard about you. Don't know if it's true.
What chat rooms are you visiting? Dwight Dirt /MSN
Tildy.
It's always in some bizarre blog. As
Where was the Tildy
really,
brought
I have
into?
to enter a tilde. I don't even know where it is.
No, you and Bill Hicks were close. Legendary
Yes.
comic Bill Hicks.
Yes, and
You were his protege, as I hear.
well, I'll go with that.
Is that-
Sure.
yeah.
Sure. Well, no, we lived in Houston, and we're a comedy team. We started very young, and
14.
We were, yes.
Are you making that?
No, he started when he was
Yeah,
14.
so that was 8 years ago.
maybe that's why I expected you to be older, is because I had heard that you were hanging out with Bill Hicks. So I thought, well, then you...
Is this an intervention for my age?
Yeah.
He just wants
Your promo says.
So literally, you and Bill worked together.
Yeah, we had. I mean, it is. When I look at my own children, I realize that at age 14, we had a cassette tape of our act and an 8x10 of the two of us, and we were riding our bikes, finding agents in Houston, Texas, for riding 8-10 miles to go meet with an agent. And
not 10 speeds. These are with the flag on the back, the banana seat.
Almost there.
Bill's on the handlebars.
And then the agent got fired.
Right. And then, so tragic. But
and how did all that work out for you?
I mean, as you would expect, we wound up in pornography. But it was just our way to start. In 1976, when we were, God, I am dating myself now, when we were thinking about going into it, there were no comedy clubs in Houston. There was nothing. And then a comedy workshop opened in Houston. We started doing open mics at age 15 and then worked our way up to where we were doing like real spots. And then, like a lot of comedy teams, got broken up. My dad got transferred. So
not many comedy teams get broken up because dad gets transferred. But
like Martin and Lewis, that tragic end of them when
Martin's dad got transferred to
father,
Klamath Falls, Washington.
So that's when you ended up in Oregon?
Yes. And then Bill and I lived together. We moved to L.A. and we were trying to get in the Comedy Store at that time.
That's the way you should start out in comedy, because when you're at 15, your expectations are pretty low as far as like how much glamour your profession should have.
Well, at 15, your goals are just, we want to just get up there and do it. And when we did, it was phenomenally exciting for suburban kids to suddenly be in show business. And all this, by the way, our parents never knew one thing about it. We were sneaking around doing it, because
This is the greatest story.
There was an underlying thing here when we were 14. Bill and I were at my house, and my older brother had a copy of a book called Dapper, which was a very cheaply produced topless, ripoff of Penthouse, and
Dapper.
Yes, it's called Dapper. Horribly cheap, women with bruises looking into the camera, like called "Where's My Check?" and I found it in my brother's room, and I brought it in to show Bill. And in order to protect ourselves, because my bedroom didn't have a lock on it, we put it in copies of Boy's Life, which were Boy Scout magazine. If you joined Boy Scouts, you got it free. And so we're looking at Boy's Life with this expression of, oh my God. And my mom walks in with laundry, and we slam the Boy's Life shut, and she realizes something's amiss, and she goes, hand it over, and we handed Dapper to my mom. And my mom mistakenly thought that it was Bill who had brought the magazine, and would not listen to an explanation that, no, it was Kevin. And she forbade me to ever see Bill again. Said, I don't want to see that boy over here with his dirty T-shirt and da-da-da-da-da-da. So that put us underground, and everything became illicit. Everything, writing jokes became an act of incredible, revolution. And anyway, so.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thanks to your mom, because if it hadn't been illicit,
right. Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe we should just go right to the root and say thanks to Dapper.
That's right.
I wonder how the internet has affected Dapper's business, because I know Penthouse and Playboy are struggling.
Which brings me to the end of my first marriage.
All right, and your relationship with Dapper Maria. When did you first?
Well, I like a top hat, and something.
Maria, I know. Like every time I see you on stage, there's the story of having just recently broken up with a boyfriend.
Oh, it's so sad.
And I don't know, is this the same boyfriend or numerous failed relationships?
Well, I started dating when I was 35. So I've had 3, committed long-term relationships from 6 months to a year. So it's been 3 in 5 years. Basically, I mean, statistically speaking, I'm almost always in a loving, committed relationship.
Well, good on you.
It's great.
Good
I mean,
on-
no. So I do realize I was like, oh, I do want to stop doing material about dating, but oh well.
Yeah.
It's fun. And then what if it's what if you never have something long term? What if it's just like, well, I never thought it would happen for me, but then here he was in hospice. And, we're trying to keep it casual because he's got his dialysis, and then I'm really, it's just a matter of time, touch and go.
I can't help but notice your lovely jewelry, Maria.
Oh, yes.
My gosh.
It's for Valentine's Day.
That's beautiful. Did you just look into your jewelry box this morning and say...
No, well, I brought it special for for Valentine's Day for a show. They're big rhinestones.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice. It's sort of love.
Yeah, that's...
But there's all kinds of love. There's love of a microphone for its stand, love of a DJ for his audience,
past job.
right? Love of comedians for the DJ.
Anyone who's listened to my 20 funnies over the years knows that two of my favorite routines I can't play anymore because George Bush is not president, and
He's still funny.
I mean that's I literally last week I thought, could I get away with playing David Crow's routine because it was the King Henry,
The Shakespeare.
the Shakespearean comparisons, brilliant, and then of course the Gollum routine about invading Iraq. Two routines that are magnificent, and I swear to God, if I don't get a call for that, or at one time I got a call for that, a couple times a day. To play the Gollum routine, and it was so well executed especially when you saw it visually, and you jump up on the stool and your naked little ass hanging.
wow.
Yeah, I know.
I voted for Bush the second election just because I wanted to keep the routine for another 4 years. Politics
wrong,
are one
David.
thing,
That's
but there's your
wrong.
career. Hey,
Self-interest. It's preservation.
Yeah, how do you feel? I mean, can I play it, or is Bush stuff completely?
well, I don't mind if you play it. Just don't ask me to do it because I can't remember it. So I haven't done it in so long.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's.
Well, the Shakespeare thing. I wouldn't know where to start.
You could too. That's like.
You think?
Yeah, that's muscle memory. You probably.
If I had the first line, I could probably, but I can't even remember what the first line is.
Yeah, gosh, I've played it so many times. I always thought I could do it.
The Shakespeare thing. Well, that would be good.
Yeah,
I'd
if
love
I
to see
could
you.
actually.
It's just got
No, you deliver it like you're
Well, I was
like a-
trained in theater.
Yeah, thespian. All right, so Laugh Lovers Ball 2011 is tonight. There's the early show at 6 o'clock. When does the late show start? 6:30 or no 8:30?
8:30.
8:30. Maria Bamford, Dwight Slade, David Crow, and then there's this guy that I don't know, Tim Lee, who's also on the bill.
Brilliant guy.
What's his
That sounds
Very
great.
funny guy.
Really? Yeah. So what's his?
Well, he's he got his PhD in microbiology and then went into comedy. So, as he says, he does not recommend that. It's a bit like
path, yeah.
it's a bit like training 6 years of your life for the Olympics and then saying, I want to be a glass blower.
Yeah.
But he's got a PowerPoint presentation, so he illustrates high ideas in science and philosophy using very pedestrian examples of barroom scenarios and so on. And it's extremely funny. But he tried to do the normal stand-up comedy thing, work in clubs, and it just didn't fit him. I mean, he's a PhD, for heaven's sake.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he said, I'm just going to do this another way. And he produces his own shows in theaters around the country, and he's got a huge YouTube following.
And does it play well with every audience? Or
Yeah, that's
do you
the
have
thing
to
is-
be a coastie? Do you
No.
have to be kind of
his
a little smarter?
illustrations are so grounded in common experience that you literally feel like now you're a PhD after the show's over because I understand all this stuff. I'm smarter than I thought.
That's awesome. What's the order of performances? Maybe you could tell your fellow.
Gonna
Yeah,
wrestle?
no one goes. Well, the initial idea was to have me because I host, but then a lot of people have seen me many times. But and then Dwight, and then Tim, and then Maria.
Oh, Maria,
Did you just find that out?
I just found that out.
Okay.
If,
Do you want to sell your spot?
well, yeah.
Dwight?
I mean, Dwight, are you
Uh-huh.
interested? I mean, what's it worth to you?
A couple pieces of banana bread and a glass of water. She wants.
I'll have to do a big closer.
bring it home, Maria?
Yeah.
Because you're funny and no one else is.
Yeah, that's I'm so sorry that if I have fans that are like that, that seems ridiculous.
No,
That's
they're
the
just- they
antithesis
just
of what I believe, which is
just
that
love you.
everyone is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we actually went out and saw a show of yours on the East Side, and you had Jackie Cashian open, who we had here on this program last year, and she's brilliantly funny.
So funny. She's a delight.
And she does a little bit of this podcasting stuff.
Yeah, she does the Dork Forest. So
Yeah.
if you have a particular obsession or dorkdom, she'll interview you about it.
Yeah.
Mine was I'm the self-help dork whenever I go on, and I'll talk about whatever new, mindfulness I'm reading about. It's just so important to breathe in and breathe out through your nose, wherever it's easy to breathe in and breathe out.
And did you guys come in last night? Is that? Yeah.
Yes.
You did.
Okay. So this shows with the Seattle Theater Group. They run the Paramount
right.
and more. And so I asked the Seattle Theater Group. I said, "Is there any way that we could get tickets to Rock of Ages, the Broadway rock opera of butt rock hair band music from the 80s?"
Yeah, Warren.
Because I'd love to take these guys there just for something fun. They're coming in a night early, and they said, "Sure, we can try to set you up here." So I emailed Maria, and she was like, "Well, I don't know if I want to go to a rock concert. Party on, Dave," but it's not really. But she had no idea it was a Broadway show. Yeah. She thought I was going to drag her.
I don't really want to see Def Leppard.
Yeah.
I know I'm such a jerk. I should have. I think I didn't read it very well. Sometimes I skim.
Yes.
Assumed it.
So did you guys go without Maria?
Well,
No.
Once Maria wasn't in, you guys thought it was.
No, well, I had other obligation, and then Dwight's.
That's
Dwight
sad
State
when the
had to,
wheels come
leave.
off of a fun outing
I
like
know,
that.
because all day I was going, "Run to the hills!" I couldn't wait.
Oh my gosh, I would have think that would have been right up your alley. Maria.
I know. I have a deep sense of regret and longing.
What is one of your passions? What do you enjoy doing during?
I like drawing pictures of my dogs.
Okay.
I have a lot of pictures of them that I draw. It's no big deal. Sometimes I write some haiku. Mostly about them. And
How
their
many
funny antics.
How many dogs do you have?
Just two.
Just two.
Old, overweight pugs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Aren't they all overweight? Isn't that part of the pug?
The
pugness?
over. I can't say it. They're a delight. I don't want to get political. Where do you stand on the dog costuming issue? How about an overweight dachshund, mixed breed, dressed in a turn-of-the-century railroad conductor uniform?
Beautiful.
All aboard! The train's leaving the station.
What's a dog?
With or without the pocket watch?
Yeah. Definitely pocket watch. He's got to be on time.
Against. I'm firmly against accessories. Demeaning.
Well, I just moved into a condo. We're renting a condo, and it's got these new hardwood floors, and I have 2 yellow labs. And so the people who rented it said, "Well, we need a big deposit for these floors because we don't want these labs ruining the floors, and if there's scratches, then you got to pay to have the floor fixed."
Yeah, right.
So I went down to Urban Pet, which I didn't know existed, but there's a place to get stuff for pets that never leave the house.
Okay.
And it's in Bell Square. And they said they had dog shoes.
Oh.
So for indoor dogs, just
Clumpity,
perfect.
clumpity,
Yeah.
clump,
Yeah, and I
clump,
thought,
clump.
okay, labs come in from outside. We put these shoes on them. They can walk around the house.
It's like the opposite. Like a shoeless household, you take your shoes off when you go into
But that
the
was
house.
the plan. You know how long
I
it
hate
took
those
me to
places.
get one shoe on one lab?
That's because it's not a
20
pug.
minutes. Yeah.
It's because once it's big, they don't make the costumes that big because the dog won't stand for it.
Yeah.
And pugs, you just carry them everywhere. On your back. Like a papoose.
I mean, just the name, Dachshund Martin, that should have tipped you off. This was a horrible idea. My question to Maria is, what do you do with the dogs when you travel so much?
I have a roommate. And then I have some friends who have like a pug palace where they have 3 pugs, and then they live there with some rabbits and a rabbit. It's like this Shangri-La, this beautiful village.
Is that Shangri-La to
Nirvana.
have rabbits for the pugs? Because
Pugs are not interested in rabbits. Terriers are interested in rabbits. We brought my friend's terriers over, and that was a mistake.
yeah.
Yes.
I just love that. I don't know. How do you breed in eagerness for like you see a terrier look at a rabbit and their tail just
You see a terrier look at pretty much anything, a sandwich, and they're goddamn excited.
I was really concerned there because all of a sudden, mid-conversation,
He just started
David's
doing it.
finger started.
sorry.
And I didn't know what you
I
were.
think you should call on Dave.
This is my impression of a terrier. Good dog. Good dog. Bad dog. Bad dog. Good dog.
And Dwight, you're as I've read off the Tilde sites.
Mm-hmm.
You're married.
I used to be married.
Married? Oh, not married anymore.
No, seven and a half years ago. So
7.5 years ago, it
yeah,
ended.
hit refresh.
When did you do your research?
I was gonna say, hit refresh on the website and it'll come up.
Yeah. It's all stored up on my hard drive now. I don't need to do any more reading on you. But you have kids. Do you have kids?
I have two children.
Two
yes.
children. All right. And how old are they?
They are 22 and 19.
Holy crap!
Yeah, I know. So I'm already. I shouldn't even say this stuff on the air. The girl I'm seeing thinks I'm 38, and she's going to do the math.
How's that? So, have you been seeing her for a while?
I've been seeing her off and on for 2 years. I mean, it's hard because you travel a lot.
But part of your routine was always marriage, and I've been.
Yeah, 8 years ago it was, and then
this is starting to get embarrassing. This is awesome.
Time to record a new CD.
Now it's about, and it was interesting going from a matrimonial coma into where you're suddenly have to date again. And so it was an interesting perspective because it's online and everything's online. I don't want to do online dating. I think people who meet on the internet and get married should be required to use their usernames in the ceremony. Do you Snapalicious69? Take Donkey Kong Sr. as your LOL BFF.
How did you meet her? How did the girlfriend?
Meet people.
Yeah, how do you
without
meet?
the net?
Maybe you could share some of your magic with Maria.
A friend of mine produced a short film, and he had a screening, and I went to the screening, and we met there.
See,
it's nice.
You need friends.
You got to get out when people
Screenings?
invite you places.
Oh, my!
Yeah.
I know.
Hey, do you want to go to a show?
What if
What if I
Sounds
said I
awesome.
went out to Rock of Ages?
Yeah.
So close. There was a meet and greet singles meeting.
No, that's it's supposed to happen naturally, right?
Well, I think that is
was
about
pretty
as
natural.
Yeah, that's about as natural as it's going to ever happen.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you do. Because if someone were to sort of come into your home and hope to
That'd be
meet you,
weird.
you'd. I'm not sure
That
that's
would be
the magic.
breaking and entering.
Yeah, perhaps that's what that's called.
Well, I met my girlfriend online.
Oh.
When I'm with now. Yeah, she and I didn't really plan to date online, but I sort of realized I'm at the age of 40, dating is much, in my opinion, a lot more difficult than it was when I was in college. Because on a first date in college, you can look across the coffee table and say, well, I'm in pre-med right now, and I plan to go to med school either here or Stanford, and become an orthopedic surgeon, buy some waterfront property, set up my own clinic, and do some charity work in the Himalayas. Your date will go, really?
Yeah, that's true because you can dream it up any way you like.
Well, college is about your future.
Right.
If I say that same thing when I'm 40 on a first date, we both know none of that crap's happening.
Or it could happen, but it's going to be tiring. It's going to be
And
exhausting.
she's going to have to support you while you're in school. Yeah.
So my theory is that when you're 40, your major life choices have been made, and you really can't escape them anymore. They follow you around like unwanted stepchildren, and so you might as well just and that's what the internet does. It just get them out there. Like, here's my oldest poor career choice over here, been with me 18 years, and here's the second one. Alimony should be out of the house in another 7.
Did you do? So you did online dating?
Yeah.
And you wrote your profile.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I'm on it. Yeah, I'm on Match.com. eHarmsonies.
Nobody can do. You can't do Match.com.
Yeah, I'm on Match.com.
Well, because people are going to recognize and
People do not know.
But they like her and only her. It
there's-
could go really well.
There's tons of TV on, and there's millions of channels, and people don't watch. People don't know that much about anything.
Yeah. I don't know.
My current ad reads, I put I'm trying to be more honest with who I am. I because a lot of guys are active. They'll say, I can, got your passport? Let's go parasail glide biking. And so I'm trying to, I can wear the same outfit for 5 days, or I can crouch naked in the shower and get real small. I sleep hard. I dream harder. I'm on a 20-mile high roller coaster with my dogs and Kofi Annan. I'll wake up when it's time. Got your library card? Let's go pay off some of my fines.
I always hated the online dating because everyone wanted to have fun. I just want to have fun. I like to have fun, and it was always the most ridiculous part of a profile. Really, isn't that by definition the word "fun" implies? Yes, it's a good thing, and
but it's counter. The honesty is counterintuitive with a lot of the questions they ask. You're trying to get someone to like you, and it's what do you like to do with your leisure time? Well, if you really think about your leisure time, it's not that interesting. I like to sit on the sofa, look at the cat, say kitty 100 times, and then I pick at my heel because the skin builds up on the outside.
You're
three matches.
So you sum that up as I like to have fun.
Sometimes I get a skin ball throw at the cat. He's like, "What?" So that's my favorite.
Well, and you look at eHarmony, their ad is 29 dimensions, which, by the way, used to be 27 dimensions of compatibility. Now it's 29 dimensions of compatibility. What if you don't? I don't want to meet anyone 29 times the same as I am. I'm sick of myself. Is there a dating site for people who hate themselves? That are sick of their interior. Just whatever you are that's different from me, I'll be that. Dimensions of compatibility. Ugh.
All right. Well, you guys. Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead. Really,
I just wanted to wrap this up with a positive. I actually met somebody, and now we have a baby.
That's right.
I'll be there.
Put that on your profile. Want to knock you up?
What exactly were you suggesting there? Like that's the having the baby part. That's the easy part. So
everything sort of worked out.
Everything worked out.
Well, it really depends on which one you are in the relationship too, because sometimes having a baby can be difficult.
Can be difficult.
Right.
Well, I'm just.
For me, it was a no-brainer because she's a pediatric anesthesiologist from South Africa who works at Children's. So, cha-ching!
Wow,
$29 investment. Bam!
Oh my God, that is awesome.
Because seriously, David, when you just say, "Hey, I met a gal and she had a baby," that typically is like, "Oh my God, David, I'm sorry."
Right. Well,
but
we said we had a baby.
Oh,
We
yeah,
had a
no,
baby.
it sounds
Okay.
nice.
Yeah.
It's inclusive.
Sorry, Marie.
The dogs have socks. It's a nice
her
life.
name is Tundi.
Her name
Very
is
nice
Baby's
African
Tundi.
name.
Tundi.
Yeah.
And she, so she practices here.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you're back living up
Seattle
up north here.
Children's, yeah.
Do you have any connection now to LA anymore?
No. I mean, I shared a hotel with apartment with Mary Mack for.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
But
that's
neither of us are ever there.
Yeah.
So.
And all right, guys.
My question, though.
Yeah.
Remember, we were talking about.
You actually had a question. I thought you were just poking.
Well, and I don't want to end it like this, but I'm a big Charles Cross fan of his biographies on Heaven and Heaven.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
And you're mentioned on that because we got the phone call.
Yes.
From
How
Courtney
weird.
Love on the night or the day after Kurt Cobain ended his life.
Yeah, I did. Your research on me is about as poor as mine on you.
Okay. You were actually.
Courtney Love was not making the calls. Courtney Love was not calling me. It was it's even more convoluted. The electrician that found Kurt Cobain called in on his radio. This is pre-cell phone days, so he called in on his radio to his dispatcher, and the dispatcher's boyfriend was in the room at the time when the radio call came in. And so while she was trying to figure out what's going on, because the electrician was there to put an alarm system in the place, the boyfriend, ran into the other room and called me up at the radio station and said, "I've got the story of the century for you. You're going to owe me some Pink Floyd tickets." Which he to this day denies that he asked for Pink Floyd tickets, but I'm like, I didn't make that shit up.
Because clearly Nirvana wasn't going to be touring anymore.
That's right. So So and then the story
so
got
sad.
completely I got completely distorted. Well, and then I hung up on him because I said, okay, Looney on line 1. Then he called back again and said, no, I'm serious. And then he like described the scene in more detail because apparently he was hearing it from the radio. And I was again, sorry, and I think the third time he called up, I had a producer that was in the room. I go call the Seattle police and see if by chance they have dispatched a cruiser to the house. Because at the time I thought there's no chance that we're the first to be hearing about this. I mean, one of the biggest rock icons at the time. And the police said, yes, we have sent a car to the home of Kurt Cobain, but that's all we can say. And then we figured, wow, if that part's true, then it's likely that he's not making the other part up. So being the totally responsible journalist, we just went off half-cocked and said, wow, Kurt Cobain's body has been found with a shotgun next to...
No kidding.
And at the time, I mean, talk about naive. I thought, because I didn't believe it. I thought, well, this is interesting in and of itself that someone called in and is claiming this. So therein lies the story. And once we
That's
unraveled...
how you were going to spin it if it was not true?
No, I seriously didn't think it was true. So I thought once it gets unraveled, then it will be like, oh,
this guy looked
interesting.
like an ass.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden we just started getting bombarded with calls from his family. His mom called up and said, "What's the?" And we're like, "Okay, don't bank on what we said because we're working at a rock station. The next segment's going to be on
right. We're doing sound effects, right?
And no, I was going the high road this second. And then it kind of blew up and it was so weird because then my name got attached to the story. So from that point on, anytime anyone wanted to do anything about Kurt Cobain, it was always like, well, let's talk to the guy who first reported it, even though I had such an insignificant role really in the big picture. Like the guy from the guy who wrote the cover story on at the time of Kurt Cobain committing suicide called me up and said, and this was literally his first question to me. He goes, "What do you think Cobain looked like after he shot himself?" And I was like,
"Oh my God! Wow. Oh my God!
I cannot believe." Like, you got to understand, I just took a call from somebody who wasn't even there. And that was my William Shatner. He wasn't even there. And
it is spring. This is the highest time for suicides. Don't do it.
Right.
Don't do it.
Yeah, thank you.
But I'm a waste of space and I'm a burden. That also describes the Grand Canyon. Have people take pictures of you from a safe distance.
It has been a treat having you guys here. I thrilled. Seriously, I'm a fan of all of yours, and I can only hope to be a fan of Tim Lee's as well. But based on the description,
he's very funny.
Yeah, he's
top notch.
He's wonderful.
Maria Bamford, Dwight Slade, David Crow, and Tim Lee tonight. Laugh Lovers Ball, 6 p.m. early show. People, you'll be home and in bed before 7:30.
Well, what we found is a lot of people like that because then they can go to dinner afterwards and they're not hurried or it's just more relaxed. And restaurants aren't busy. So, and by the way, there's still a lot of seats on the main floor of the Moore, so you can just walk up.
So tickets are available at the door. I highly encourage you to do that. Maria, how was it wearing the headphones the entire time?
It was really fun. I felt comforted. I felt squished like a Taylor Grandin. What's that? Temple Grandin. I like to be squeezed.
Maria, thank you for being here. Dwight,
thank you.
I promise I'll read up more.
No problem.
Next time. But awesome story about you and Bill Hicks. That's really cool. And David,
thanks, Marty, for having us on.
Keep doing the shows. Laugh Lovers Ball, the Moore Theater tonight, and there are walk-up tickets available. Kate, thank you for being here.
Oh, you're so damn welcome.
Tomorrow, the wonderful Camille Bloom will be here, and she's literally a star on the rise.
I'm very excited.
Yeah. So she will be here tomorrow. Thanks to Yaz.
Yes!
Wow. That is more than Yaz deserves. All right. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.
Wholly independent since 2009, this has been the Marty Reamer Show podcast. For more information about topics discussed, visit our website, martyreamer.com. That's Marty, RIEMER.com. Thank you for subscribing to the podcast. Tell your friends. They look nice. Oh, and to subscribe to our podcast, that too. The Marty Reamer Show is a production of Twisted Scholar Incorporated. Remember, in America, a corporation is a person too. I'm your ruggedly handsome announcer, Blair Schultz. See you next time. Word out.
Bye-bye, Daddy. Bye-bye, yes.
Maybe.
I wouldn't recommend it, but
I kind of like the fact that a lot of people are doing podcasts, but
it is, comics have taken to it more than it seems any other,
Marty, where's the camera?
Well, they have time in the
It's
day.
because they can't get on the Tonight Show.
Hold on 1 second. Yeah, where is that camera?
Yeah.
It's because Jay has to be the funniest. That's my theory.
You should send him, I don't know if they have any copies of their American video, but the DVD.
well,
Marty would like that, wouldn't he?
who?
Marty.
Oh yeah, I should. But yeah. Oh, I don't have the UK version, just PAL.
Oh.
But the US version is coming out in April, so.
Oh, that's hence the thing at the Comedy Festival. Yeah. What's that?
Podcast and coupon.
There's a
Well, that's
coupon.
laugh off.
What?
Am I missing a contest?
Expired.
Oh, it's expired.
It's already
Never miss a
expired.
raffle. That's a good lesson. Yeah. When
I've
things are
never-
free, take two.
Seriously, never won anything. The only thing I've ever won was
You-
I was in China back in 1984, and we were going through a pearl factory / farm, whatever. It's a big building where
Right.
they take bits
They
of
farm
sand and
pearls.
start pearls and oysters.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh.
I have no idea what just happened. That was one hell of a purse.
I know.
That's all the stuff that people leave behind.
Oh.
Like everyone leaves something behind. And can we get a? Oh, you want to do a flash?
I won all the time.
What?
I won the contest all the time. I had like
He got this job by winning.
yeah, 3-4 trips, like Vegas and LA, everywhere.
Well, this is a picture of me with my family in China on this pearl tour, and who goes on a tour of a pearl factory? Generally, people over 60, especially women, the people who wear pearls. So I'm the only 12-year-old or 14-year-old on this thing, right? And I'm sitting there, and at the end, where they're going to raffle off a one pearl from this, they open the oyster up and give it away, and someone gets to walk away with this pearl. And so they announce their number. There's about 50 of us in the group, and no one responds. I'm just. And he
Can't
gets
be
the number
me.
again, and I dig in my pocket. Oh, it's me! You know? I was the last person who cared about having a pearl. I still have it. You know,
All right.
in the pack rat.
Let's get a photo. Come on, everyone, gather around here.
Oh, hell. Where are you going?
I'm going on here.
I don't think you have to. I really don't think you have to.
Oh, they're tall. Oh, they're so
Oh,
tall.
we're huge.
1, 2, 3. One more.
Oh, you didn't like that at all.
Okay.
Do you have a bigger camera?
1, 2, 3.
Or maybe a smaller space.
He won that camera.
No, I broke the camera.
Oh, he broke the
Yeah.
previous one. Yes, I need a bigger one.
Hey,
I
Maria,
break
can
everything
I get a
here.
picture of you, actually? Okay, awesome. I'm one of those Maria Manfred fans. It's just,
Yeah,
you know.
yes.
So these guys aren't funny at all.
Oh.
That'd be awesome. No,
Oh, yeah.
I just think you're so great.
She doesn't care.
Right?
These guys. That's why I put Maria on at the
I
end.
think
Otherwise,
you
they
two
were all
guys
just
are
like,
like-
Yeah.
is it
Can I get a
Gary
picture
goes
with you two
flat?
guys?
No, you're right. You're right.
Yes, you're right. Wait, you can't do that without flash.
It's like he's drawing.
you
my
have to hold
picture.
it
My
down a
God,
little
this
bit.
is taking forever.
You hold the camera so far away.
I'm nearsighted. I'm
Oh, I see.
150 years old.
It's not 22.
I did my first open mic in the 50s.
We have a series, apparently, yeah.
I think that's it.
You're gonna love it.
Okay, awesome.
It's a variety.
The photo progressively gets less and less cheerful. It's the technology.
I like checking our watch. They're so good.